I think we can all agree that distance learning was not what we thought was going to happen in 2020. If you would have told me at the beginning of the school year or even in January that we were going to finish the school year online, I would have said that you were crazy. Distance learning definitely took me through for a surprise and really forced me to get out of my comfort zone as far as teaching elementary music. I was used to using lots of instruments in the classroom, hands-on things, which is probably not going to happen in the fall. Now, when we go back to school in the fall, I still am not quite sure what exactly is going to happen. I think most people are probably not sure what exactly is going to happen because right now we just don't know. Because it looks like in the fall we might have something somewhat similar to what we experienced in the spring, or at least something a little bit different than normal. I wanted to share some of the really cool internet and online learning solutions that I have found that are really fun. Today we're going to talk through 2 apps and 4 websites that are all really awesome for teaching elementary music. They're very different, so you can probably find something that you or your students will be comfortable with nonetheless. So let's get started. All right, so we're gonna start with 2 apps. The first one is called Rhythm Cat. This is one I've actually used with my 2nd graders before, and it's really fun. There is a paid version, but you can get started for free, and if you have, you know, less than an hour, you probably won't have time to get to the paid version. Basically, all the kids have to do is open up the app, and it shows them different rhythms. It plays along with them, and they just have to press down for the different rhythms. So if it's like ta ti ti ta ta, they just press ta ti ti ta ta. If it's a half note, then they hold their finger down. This was a really great way to get, especially like my younger kids, reading rhythms in a really fun way. The next one I found that we used that was really fun is called Music Crab. This one is really great. Even if you're teaching private piano lessons, I used it with my kiddos who were learning how to play the keyboard. So basically it has like a treble clef and it has a little crab that goes along, and you just press the notes on the keyboard that correspond with where he is on the staff. So this is great because it forces kids to look at the staff, figure out how to read it, and find the note on the keyboard. Now, it does help you a little bit by like lighting up the correct keyboard note, but it's still really good practice, especially for those new beginner kiddos. All right, so now we're gonna get into a couple of different websites. There are tons of different websites that you can use, but I narrowed it down to 4. These are all 4 things that I have actually used and enjoyed, and they're all at least somewhat free. So there's at least portions of it that are free. So the first one we're going to talk about is called Little Kids Rock. So we actually in my district are using Little Kids Rock as part of our curriculum. We don't have like a set, this is what you're doing, but a lot of us were trained in Little Kids Rock to be able to go forth and do things. Little Kids Rock is really fun. They use popular songs in order to teach kids how to play instruments like the keyboards, drums, bass, guitars, how to write their own songs, and do all of these different things. So on Little Kids Rock's website, you can go to like the kids zone, and there's also an educator zone. So you can totally use them in class really easily. They have tons and tons of different lesson plans on there for teachers, and then they also have different things for kids. So there's kind of 2 different sections. You can take a lesson for the kids, and so you can learn all about ukulele or the drum set or hip hop basics, introductions to chords, switching different chords. You can even search by different instruments, so you can search by drum lessons or by ukulele lessons or by guitar lessons. And then you can also go to learn a song. And so when you go to learn a song, you can again sort by the different instruments. You can also sort by number of chords, and it will come up with different songs that you can play pretty easily. When you open it up, it'll show you different chord charts, and it'll tell you exactly like how many times to play the chords. These are really cool if you want to have a group of kids, maybe start like a little band, or you know, in class you can have 2 kids on the ukulele and 2 kids on the guitars and 1 on the drums, and that's really fun. They can also totally do it from home, especially in the take a lesson section. Now, having said that, probably my favorite of all 6 of the things we're talking about today is Solfeggio. So Solfeggio is another web-based platform that uses lots of popular songs to teach different things to the kids. Solfeggio also happens to be the sponsor of this video. So thank you, Solfeggio, for sponsoring this video so that we could bring this content to all the music teachers. Solfeggio is really cool, and I would be saying that even if they weren't sponsoring this video, because of how easy it is to learn different things on their platform. You can learn different songs, you can take a class on music theory, on notation, on rhythm, on ukulele, on guitar or piano or whatever, and it makes things super, super easy to do. And all of them are based on popular songs. So when you go to take a class on your first song in piano, it gives you some songs that are included that you can learn. You're not just learning, you know, here's where C is, here's where D is. You're learning like, here's how to play this song. One thing that's also really cool is that you can link to the assignment. Kids can also learn about how to play different songs, and when they go to them, there's lots of different things that you can do. So I will insert like a little clip of that in here so you can just see some of the stuff that's really, really, really stinking cool.
Take your hands, my dear, and place them both in mine. You make me wanna cry. There's just one more time.
You can invite your kiddos by sending them a link and they can get started. They can do this for homework or for practice or for in-class work or distance learning if we so happen to need that again. And it's just really, really easy to do. So you can either send them an email or you can send the link to them. Now, there is a free plan and a paid plan on Solfeggio. So the free plan has 30 popular songs that you can get for free. You can invite as many students as you want, so you can invite the whole school. You can get access to different lesson plans and things like that. And then there's also a paid plan in which you get all the free plan stuff plus 150 songs, trainings, student activity statistics, so it'll tell you how they're doing, and a whole month free. So if your school has access to funds or is giving you extra access because of all the craziness, then you can sign up that way. And if not, then you can sign up for the free plan and maybe get the full access later. Either way, it is super, super, super cool, and I highly recommend it. Your kids are going to love it. My kids are gonna love it. I cannot wait to get into this with them. The next two are very, very different. So the next one I'm going to talk about is called musictheory.net. Musictheory.net is a free website. They do have paid apps. The only app I have, I think, ever paid for in my life was Tenuto. Back in college, I used to use this to practice my own theory. So musictheory.net is obviously about music theory. It's really great if you have older kids or maybe piano students or different things like that. We actually use this in my classroom to get accustomed to the treble clefs. So sometimes I'll throw it up on the screen and we'll take turns calling out what note is up there. It's just a really good way for everyone to be able to see it up on the projector. They have different lessons kids can go through by themselves. They have exercises with note identification, scale identification, intervals. They even have ear training stuff. Lots of ear training, which is what I used it for back in college to pass Oral Skills 3, and just really, really, really awesome. We only just barely scratched the surface of this in my classroom. We mostly use it for the note identification and sometimes for the keyboard identification. The last one we're going to talk about is Chrome Music Lab. So this is much more of a let's have fun and make things up, as opposed to the other ones were a little more like let's learn music stuff. And it's just so much fun. If you haven't checked out Chrome Music Lab, I would highly recommend you giving it a try. It's something that I usually use more as a sponge activity than anything else in my classroom. One I would suggest is the Song Maker is really fun because you go through and you click on the different boxes so that you can create different songs, and you can change the instruments, so you can have like strings or marimbas or pianos or whatever, and you can kind of like make a picture and then hear what it sounds like, which is just really stinking cool. Chrome Music Lab is also cool because you can learn all about chords. You can do major or minor chords on the keyboards, and you can just do a lot of really fun stuff with rhythm and melody, and it's just it's a lot of fun. All right, so there are a few suggestions for all of the different things that you can check out. All of them are really, really fun. I will link them all down below in the description. I highly recommend all of them actually, but Solfeggio is probably my favorite because you can see the melody and the words and the chords all at the same time while it plays the song for you, which is just really stinking cool. If you have a favorite app or website that you use with your kiddos, leave them down below because I know that I'm just barely scratching the surface on fun things that you can do. So check out these and then let me know down below which ones you like to do so that we can add more to our repertoire. Thanks so much for watching. Good luck next year and try not to stress too much about it over the summer. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.